is my time. I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time, ready to shine, brighter than all of the lights. Cause when it's game time, seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind, beating the buzzer like, this is my time, this is my moment. You better bet that I'm on it, ready and set, I'ma own it. Blast it to 10, then keep going, there ain't no coasting. I never settle, don't play, putting the kettle to flame. I go 100 all day, foot on the pedal, no brakes. 10, 9, paid all my dues, waited in line. 8, 7, now it's about time that I take mine. 6, 5, king of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time, I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Hi everyone, as you saw for the title, this is going to be a Q&A video. I asked you guys on Instagram a few weeks ago to ask me questions about my weight loss, so that's what this video is going to be about. If you are new here, by the way, my name is Judith, and if you're not new here, welcome back. As many of you know, I've been on a weight loss journey. I started my channel few years ago and I was documenting my weight loss, sharing everything that I was doing with you all, and then COVID happened. I gained a bunch of weight. I gained the most weight I've ever been, and here we are now, 45 pounds less later, sharing with you all on my journey again, and I've been loving every moment of it. I'm so glad that I get to share with you all the realness of losing weight. I'm gonna be answering those questions that you guys had for me here. I do have a good amount, maybe about, I want to say 25, so definitely grab some water or get on the treadmill if you're trying to, you know, find some motivation while you hear me give you my answers, or a little snack of some fruit or a mineral water. This has been my go-to lately. I was stuck on Coke Zeros for such a long time, and I think I would say it on here that I was really trying to cut back on Coke Zeros because I know they could be very, very bad for us. So thankfully I've picked up on having mineral water, where I'm getting into the habit of not having, I was having Coke Zeros every single day. I probably have a Coke Zero maybe like once a week if I'm out at a restaurant and I just want to enjoy a Coke. It's all baby steps here. So let's get started with the Q&A before I go on rambling off on here. How much did you lose? Te ves hermosa either way. I don't know if I said this on the intro. Thank you. This is from Lucia. I lost a total of 45 pounds. I don't know if I've lost any more. I haven't weighed myself recently. I've just been focusing on strength training and just eating healthier. But from the last time, I have lost a total of 45 pounds. How did you lose the weight? Was it just the detox? This one's from Jazz. No, I did not just lose the weight from the detox. I lost, I believe it was the 30 pounds last year from not doing the detox at all. And that was just me being more mindful, making healthier choices. And then I did do the detox this time around, where I think I lost 13 pounds, I want to say, or 15, I'm not sure. Next one is, how do you keep motivated even when you don't feel your best? This is from Patty. So thank you for your question. This is gonna sound easier said than done. You gotta stay disciplined. Motivation is not something that you can rely on because it's gonna come and go, especially for us women and our hormones. We have like our ups and downs. We have days where we're feeling super energetic, days that we feel super down here. So don't rely on motivation because that's gonna come and go. You gotta stay disciplined, and you just gotta keep doing it. Even if it's taking baby steps, you just gotta stay disciplined. And if you're disciplined enough where you're like showing up to work, you can be disciplined enough where you're showing up for yourself. That's kind of how you gotta see it. It's tough, trust me, I've been there and I feel you. So I don't wanna sound like, oh, just do it, you know, because it definitely took me a long time. But it is definitely staying disciplined, because the more you show up for yourself, the closer you're gonna get to getting to where you want to be. So do it even when you don't want to. It's okay to take mental days off. It's okay to rest sometimes, but make sure you're doing more of what's going to benefit you more times than those days that are needed for, you know, a mental day off, or just if you need a little break. Just make sure that you're staying disciplined with what you need to do to reach your goals. Next question is from Juliet. Wait, I lost it. You look great. Please tell us what you eat and don't eat that has helped you with weight loss. I eat whatever I want. And don't take it as go eat whatever you want. I am more mindful of what I'm eating. This time I took that approach where I wanted to just live life, and I didn't want to go to parties anymore worrying about what I was gonna eat or telling someone, no, I can't have that, I'm on a diet. I'm done with that life. I'm done with that life of having to restrict, having to feel like food has control over me. So I enjoy what I want. There's times during the weeks if I want to go get a brownie, I go get the brownie, but I am a lot more mindful now, and I try to remind myself my goals constantly so that I'm not doing it too often. That is why it's taking me longer to lose my weight this time around. I feel like 45 pounds, probably in the past I would have lost it in a few months compared to pretty much a whole year. But it's because I'm taking a different approach where I'm wanting to still enjoy life and not feel like I'm just constantly going on diets and gaining the weight back and losing the weight again, and I'm just done with that life. So I'm really truly trying to enjoy my favorite foods. I just try to change it up a little bit, where if I want pizza and say I feel like I already had something that I enjoyed the day before that was high in calories, then I'll make myself a healthier version of a pizza at home with more veggies. So I just try to be more mindful with those type of things. So yeah, I'm not restricting on anything, and I feel like this has been the best approach for me this time around, because it's taking me longer to lose it, but I truly feel like this time there's not going to be any going back, because there's nothing to go back to. I'm enjoying the foods that I want to, so there's no need for me to feel like I need to go on a fast food rage where I'm like eating out every single day. First of all, it's not good for my wallet, and second of all, it's just I know it's not healthy for me, so I don't want to choose that lifestyle. Next question is from YXO. What's your go-to low-calorie snack? I'd be getting hungry at night. I would say cucumbers. I love eating cucumbers because they're low in calories, and I love to add lemon and tahini. I also love edamames, which are high in protein. Edamames just remind me of garbanzos from back in Michoacan, which is where my parents are from, in Mexico, and they're like chickpeas in a pod and like green pods, and they're really good. So they remind me of that, so I love eating edamames. I'm not gonna say I have healthy snacks all the time. There's times where if I really want a brownie, then I'll go get a brownie, but again, I'm more mindful. Like I'll split it with my fiance, or if I feel like I've been okay all week, or it's just a little treat that I want to give myself, then I allow me to enjoy it by not shaming myself anymore, because I know that I'm putting in the work. Also, you're gonna eat whatever you have at home, so I try my best to not buy any snacks like chips, chocolate, anything like that to have at home. I stick to fruit, I stick to vegetables. It just creates that barrier to be like, okay, do I really want that brownie? Like, do I want to go to the store to get that brownie? And if I really do want it, I'll go to the store. But there's more times that it's pretty much out of sight, out of mind, right? If I don't see it, I'm not thinking about it. If I know there's a box of cookies in my pantry, it's gonna be in my head, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go eat it. Even if I'm not craving it, it's just because it's there for me. That's how my brain works. So out of sight, out of mind. Don't have things in your home that you should be eating less of. Also, just try to pick things that you enjoy. I feel like a lot of times people ask me like, oh, what are you eating? What are you snacking on? And it's good to have ideas, but I'm gonna enjoy what I like to eat, because my taste buds are not gonna be the same taste buds as someone else. So just end up choosing something that you feel like you truly are going to enjoy. Just because I like cucumbers doesn't mean you're gonna like cucumbers. Just because summer's coming, so watermelon, that's like my favorite thing ever. Just because I love watermelon doesn't mean you're gonna love watermelon. So find things that you're going to truly enjoy yourself. How did you start? Easier said than done, but you just start. You just start. I hate to just say that, but you just gotta start. What would help is to just sit down and whatever it is, even if it's not weight loss, if you have a goal, write down the things that you are doing now and really just reflect on that and see, okay, what could I be doing better to get to my goal? So if you are trying to lose weight and you are eating out every day, write it down. I'm having McDonald's today. I had Jack in the Box for breakfast. I had a highly loaded Starbucks drink for breakfast. I had cookies as a snack. I didn't work out. Write down what you're doing now and then write down what you need to do to get to your goal. So if that's okay, I need to exercise at least whatever you have time for. If it's 3 times a week, then do it 3 times a week. I need to exercise 3 times a week. I need to add veggies to my plate if you're not having any veggies. I need to eat out less. Write them down and then start taking action in them. Even if you're doing one thing at a time. Even if you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna start eating healthier, but I don't want to work out yet. Just start by that, because at the end of the day, nutrition is key and you're gonna have best results even if you don't work out, but you're eating right. You're gonna have results, because at the end of the day, our diet is the main thing that matters. Working out, you gotta see it just as it's healthy for us, it's good for our body, but not necessarily see it as this is gonna get me to lose weight. Say for like the next week that's coming, if you're not ready to start going to the gym, then write down what you need to start if you want to go to the gym. Or if you're just gonna go for walks, okay, do I need shoes? Do I need walking shoes? Do I need running shoes? Okay, should I buy them? Yes, because I'm gonna need them. Do I need workout clothes if you don't have any? Yes. Get that situated first, so that when the week comes that you're gonna start working out, you don't have excuses to be like, oh, I don't have comfortable shoes, or I don't have comfortable clothes that I could work out in. Just start. You got to start somewhere. My lifestyle is going to be different than your lifestyle pretty much, and I know people like to throw around the, oh, we all have the same hours in the day. Yes, we all have the same hours, but we also have different responsibilities. So just because I could go to the gym for 2 hours in the morning if I wake up on time, doesn't mean that you have the time to go to the gym for 2 hours. So at the end of the day, you got to do what works for your schedule. Just make time for yourself. So you said, how did you start? Sorry, I'm over here. I thought you said, how do I start? I started by just going to the gym. I got a membership. I started with going like 2 to 3 times, sometimes a week. There's times where I would skip a week, skip 2 weeks, and I'd start going again. It took time to build the habit, but I got there with baby steps. I started by adding more veggies to my meals. I started by being more mindful of what I was eating. So if I was going to a restaurant, instead of eating the whole plate, now I try to just eat half. If it's a good portion, I'll eat half, have like a salad on the side, or have some veggies on the side, and then I'll take the other half to go for the next day as my lunch, or for dinner later that day, depending on what time I ate it. So it's just being more mindful, making smarter choices. I didn't do this from one day to another. I didn't just wake up one day and was like, I'm gonna lose weight, like I'm gonna start working out this whole week and start eating healthier. I think if you choose to do it all at once, it can become very overwhelming, especially if you're not used to it and you just end up giving up. So definitely take smaller steps, baby steps, make a plan, and you'll get there eventually. It's hard, it's not easy. Just put in the work for yourself. You're doing this for yourself, it's gonna benefit you. So that's how I started. I stopped with the strict diets. I just started enjoying life. I mentally prepared myself. I told myself, okay, I'm taking this different approach this time. My weight's gonna come down slower, but I have to be really patient with myself, and it was hard. There was days that I wanted to give up, but I also didn't want to end up in the same spot that I was before. I hated looking at myself in the mirror. So that was like a little constant reminder for me that I didn't ever want to be in the place that I was when I first started. I hit rock bottom, and if I continued to skip going to the gym or continued to eating out every day, I was gonna continue feeling like crap. So that was my little motivation to keep me going. Next one is from Melly. How do you keep a healthy relationship with food and guilt after eating bad things? So stop labeling foods as bad. I follow this creator on TikTok, and I don't know his name, but he does say to start labeling food, instead of this is good food and this is bad food, label it as this is sometimes food and this is always food. That way you don't have that negative term to certain foods, because I feel like a lot of us, if we tell ourselves we can't have that, we're gonna want to have it. So just pretty much taking away that negative word out so that you stop feeling guilty whenever you do have it, because it's okay to enjoy certain things in moderation. And just because you had it one time doesn't mean that it's bad. Everything's okay. Not that everything's okay, because highly processed foods could really be bad. They're actually really bad for us. But if you're putting in the work most of the time, if you have it that one time and you truly want to enjoy it, you should be able to do it without the guilt. So just try to label it differently. Like I said, it really has helped us saying, oh, like this is our always food and this is our sometimes food, like pizza, that's our sometimes food. And sometimes me and my fiance correct ourselves because we're like, oh no, we can't have that, that's bad. And they're like, like it's our sometimes food, it's not bad food, we just shouldn't have it right now because yesterday we already enjoyed a sometimes food. You know, it's just playing around with the terms. And also just not restricting anymore, not being on diets anymore has helped me stay away from having the bad relationship with food, because I don't see it anymore as I can't have that. I try to tell myself, if I see there's a cake and if I want the cake, if I truly am like, that looks really good and I want a piece of that cake, then I'm gonna allow myself to enjoy it. But there's times that if we see something, it's just like, oh, that looks good, let me eat it, versus am I really wanting that right now, or is it just because it's there? So it's pretty much the out of sight, out of mind. If it's there, you're gonna end up eating it. If it's not there, would you have wanted to have ate that? Would you have been like, I'm craving a piece of cake right now? So try to like pay attention to that. But I feel like not restricting definitely has helped me. You just kind of have to, it takes a long time. It's been a whole year for me, and I've been trying to learn for the past years before that. So it's definitely not something that you change from one day to another, but little by little, once you start using those better terms, it definitely starts creating that better relationship that you have with food. Just remind yourself also that food is always going to be there. For the most part, I feel like anything that we're eating, it's there and we want to eat it, but it could be available in other times. So if we're truly not hungry and you're just eating it because it's there, then that's bad for your body. So try to remind yourself, like, if you see something, it's okay, I'm not hungry right now, I could enjoy it another time. Just try to remind yourself that. And like I said, it takes time, it takes practice. There's gonna be times where you're gonna tell yourself and you're gonna be like, you know what, I don't care, I still want that slice of pizza. But little by little, you'll get pretty much better at it. I'm not an expert at it yet. Like I said, I'm human, I'm not perfect, but it definitely has helped me, I feel. Next question. Have you ever had the urge to binge? If so, how do you overcome it? This is from Senia. So yes, I have had the urge to binge. If you're not familiar with that, or if this is something that triggers you, if you have any type of eating disorder or anything like that, you can skip throughout this part. But yeah, I have had binge episodes, that's what you could call them, in the past, where I felt like I wanted to eat my whole pantry, literally. Like, I was just looking at what could I eat and what can I have right now. And I think it would come a lot from just restricting so much that there was times I would see something and I would start eating it, and then I was just like, what else can I eat? What else can I have right now? Because I'm going to start a diet on Monday and I need to have it all right now. So this is something actually I had mentioned in the last year actually, that I had started therapy, and that's something that I did bring up to my therapist, and that's that I would binge a lot. And something she told me that I could do was that I'm telling you now, because I feel like it does work a lot of the times. There's going to be times where you feel like you have no control, you're gonna do it anyways. But something that has worked for me that she told me to do was to have a 15-minute rule, where I would choose a task beforehand. Like, think of something that you would enjoy to do to keep you busy for 15 minutes. Give yourself those 15 minutes to not go into the kitchen and try to devour the whole kitchen, and just stay busy for those 15 minutes. And it is more likely that after those 15 minutes, that thought process that you were having is hopefully going to disappear, and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm okay now. Like, I don't feel like I have to eat that. Maybe something triggered you. Maybe you were feeling stressed or you were feeling anxious and you suddenly had that urge to like eat. So try to fight that off for at least 15 minutes. If after those 15 minutes you're like, I still want to go get that cookie in the pantry, allow yourself, just try to be more mindful. But I feel like a lot of the times you're not going to do it. Also, what helps me is reminding myself how I'm going to feel after I binge. I tell myself, is it really worth it? Is it worth having a temporary pleasure to then feel like completely shit after? So it's just about being more mindful and really kind of talking yourself out of it. It's a lot of work, it's hard, but it's definitely doable. And it's also, like I said, just not being in a strict diet, not restricting anything is something definitely that has helped me. I don't think I've done it in a very long time now. There's times where maybe I'll be at a party and there'll be cookies and I'll catch myself like enjoying it a little bit more than I should, but not like binging how I would binge in the past, where I was more comfortable here at home because I was alone, no one was watching me. So it's definitely harder too when there's no one home, because you're like, well, no one's gonna see me anyway. But you gotta remind yourself, how are you going to feel after you're done? That temporary pleasure, it's definitely not worth it. So I hope that helps. Next question is from Cindy. What is your goal weight? I don't have a goal weight. I'm just focusing on my body, on how it looks. I'm focusing on toning up, building muscle. So definitely don't have a goal weight anymore, because I don't know what my body's gonna look like, because I'm taking a different approach this time. I think in the past I did a lot of cardio, which helped me lose the weight on the scale. Now I'm strength training, so I'm gonna look different at a certain weight compared to in the past. So I honestly just try to not have a goal weight in mind, because muscle is gonna weigh more, and that's what I'm trying to build, and I am building and I'm seeing the results. So I'm definitely not relying on the scale. So next one is, do you recommend a juice cleanse before starting a strict diet, or what do you recommend? This one's from Steffi. So do what works for you. I personally love doing the detox before I start, just because it gives me that little kickstart. I see that I lose a few pounds, I feel slimmer, I feel my face slimmer. If it's something that you feel like it's just gonna set you back, where you're gonna do the detox and you're gonna go back to your old ways, then don't do the detox. It's pointless. Really truly do it. Mentally prepare yourself for it. It's helped me so much, and I know it's helped so many of you out there that have done the detox with me. Just mentally prepare yourself and see it as a kickstart, not as the solution to your weight loss, because you're gonna lose pounds, but if you don't have a plan after that to continue eating healthy, you're gonna gain it back. So definitely do it if you feel like it's gonna give you that kickstart. I think, like, for me, it's the perfect kickstart, but it may not be for everyone. I would just say do what works for you. Whatever's gonna get you started, do it. Next one is from Figueroa. Do you work out 7 days out of the week? I started with 2 to 4 days out of the week. I think I mentioned this earlier. Now I do 5 to 6 times a week. Just because I do 5 to 6 times a week doesn't mean that you should do 5 to 6 times a week. Again, I started with like 2 to 4 days, not showing up some weeks. So it definitely took me a while to get to where I am now. Most of my weeks look like 6 times a week for the workouts, but that's because I truly honestly feel good going to the gym now. Like, if there's a day that I skip the gym, I feel like my whole day is off. I feel like everything's just like I'm not having a productive day. So I personally do enjoy now going to the gym, because it does give me the energy I need for the rest of the day to work for the rest of the day. Next one, this one's from MLES. Did you take any supplements to lose weight? No, and then she said, you look amazing, thank you. No supplements to lose weight. How did you know what exercises to do? Can you provide a list of what workouts you do? Thanks, Joanna. Thank you, Joanna. I just started posting my workouts on my Instagram and my TikTok. If you do want to go follow me on there, I posted my routine for my legs, my current routine for my legs, and then I did my core day. I just need to film my upper body, but I'm gonna try hopefully to film how I started with my upper body, because what I do now is different from when I started. And that's just because I'm actually starting to work out with my fiance now, and in the past I was just doing the workouts myself at the gym. I just enjoy working out with my fiance now because he does the cable machines, and I actually pretty much enjoy those. So I do have them on Instagram and TikTok. I do strength training, so I try to do 2 days of leg days, 2 days of core days, and 2 days of upper body day. And I try to get 20 minutes of cardio after my strength training. Oh, and then how did I know what exercises to do? I just went based off of my goals. I wanted to tone up, so I would search up workouts that were good for my legs. I wanted to tone up my legs and my butt. I wanted to tone up my arms. Now I'm working on my back as well. So it depends on what your goals are. There's people that just want to lose the weight and they don't care about toning up. So for that, you could just do cardio. But if you do want to tone up, you just pretty much look up what exercises target the muscles that you're trying to grow. Although I do think it's better to just do a full body workout. That way you just look toned all around. Next one is from Flores. How has this journey helped your mental health? Also love your top on this pic. Thank you, Flores. It's definitely helped me a lot. It's helped me be kinder to myself. I try to treat myself as I would treat someone else, and that's by being gentle. I think about how I have younger sisters, and I think about how I treat them. And if I feel like they need to work in a certain area in their life, I come from a gentle space. I'm not like angry and you need to do this because you're gaining weight and you look horrible, like nothing like that. So I am definitely more kinder to myself. I think in the past I was very negative. I would tell myself I was fat. And let me just add that this is something that I grew up hearing my whole life. My mom struggled with her weight, and I definitely am learning to be more positive, because I feel like, unfortunately, because I grew up hearing that, I started doing it, and I probably affected my little sisters from it, where they would hear me saying it and they have their own issues now. So you do pass it down. So definitely keep that in mind. You definitely want to start being more positive around little kids, especially because they vacuum up, they swallow up whatever they hear. And if they're hearing their mom if you're a mom, if they're hearing you be insecure, you're gonna pass that down to them. Not that you want to, not that it was on purpose, but it's just because kids are so wise and they're just learning all the time. So if they're hearing you say things like that, it's definitely going to affect them in the long run. I just had to throw that in there because it went with what I was saying. But I'm definitely being more gentle to myself, also because I hopefully want to pass that down to my future kids if I have any. I'm learning to just be more positive, more confident. Confidence is coming also as I'm losing weight, because I'm starting to be able to wear clothes that I couldn't wear in the past. And not just that, I'm eating a lot healthier. I feel like what I was eating before, it truly is, you eat like shit, you feel like shit, you look like shit. That term, you are what you eat, it's so true, because whenever I eat like shit, I feel like shit. And the weeks that I'm doing good, that I meal plan and I'm exercising, I am feeling my best. And that's what ends up giving me the motivation to keep going, because I know that that's where it's at for me. It's gonna make me feel better about myself. Then why stop, you know? So it's definitely helped me being in this journey. And not only that, I try to follow people that inspire me, or that are going through similar things, or that are all about body positivity and self-love, and people that are successful, just to soak up positive things in life versus trying to stick to hearing just negative. Like, I don't watch the news. I am not aware of a lot that's going on out there, because I feel like I'm someone that if I see something negative, it just affects me right away. And I'm just trying to stay positive, and it's really helping my mental health. It really is. So next question is, what was your why? Oh, I love this question. What was your why? Did you fail a lot? Each time I fail, I get less motivated. From Wera. My why. It's kind of gonna lead to what I mentioned in the last answer. Yes, each time I fail, it's a setback, but I wouldn't say I get less motivated. It's more, for me, I'm like, if I already did it once, why wouldn't I be able to do it again? To me, it's if I did it already, I could do it again. There's no excuses. I've already done it in the past. So what's my excuse now? Like, I can get it done. I'm just not putting in the work. But my why is that I want to be the best version of me. I'm only getting older. And I feel like I've always had this thing where like I cared about my health since I was young, but I think it did come more from a negative space where I was wanting to do it just to look a certain way. But I feel as I got older and I started really reading into it, looking into it, learning about it, I started having a passion for it just because I was learning what truly is good for our bodies and what's not good for our bodies. And I hope that one day I can have much more knowledge that I can share with you all. As of now, I'm just like trying to soak it all in, because as much info as there is out there, there's so much contradicting info as well. So it's kind of hard to know what's best for us. So my why, let's go to my why. I am working out because I want to be strong. I want to be healthy, not just right now, but most importantly in the future. I am well aware that I'm getting older, and as I get older, I'm going to have more issues, more problems. I already have back problems. I had already high cholesterol last year. My liver was coming out bad. So just even doing my blood work kind of was like that wake up call for me, where it's like, you need to start taking care of your health, because if not, you're gonna suffer later on much more, where they're gonna tell you that you can't have certain things, that you completely have to eliminate them. And I want to make sure that I can enjoy things that I want whenever I want. And also, as I get older, I want to be able to take care of me without having to rely on anyone. I think me having back problems already, like really bad back problems to where I have to stay in bed at times, has really made me see the world of having to rely on someone. So I really hit that rock bottom where I asked myself, is this the life that I see for myself? Is this the life I want? Do I want to be reliant on other people? Do I want to feel that way about me? Because obviously it's not the best feeling to have to rely on someone to literally just help you go to the restroom. So I feel like I've been able to see little glimpse of what my future could be, and I don't want that for me. And I want to know at least that I'm doing my best to have a life where I can just take care of me. Not saying that something can't happen to me, where I could probably be doing my best and I could be hit by a car, or an accident can happen and I am paralyzed. Like, things like that could happen, but I at least want to know that I gave it my all in life to take care of me. I've seen also how depression affects my mom. We went through a really hard time with my mother. I've talked about it a little bit here on before, I think, where she was severely depressed, and we went through a lot as a family. I've seen it all around my family, and just like even like diabetes runs with my dad on his dad's side. And you got to really ask yourself, what is the connection to all of this? And I feel like a lot of it, there's certain things that just happen or they're genetically passed, but I feel like a lot of times we make things worse with everything that we're putting in our body. So I want to just try my best to prevent that. And then I'm getting older and I don't have kids yet. If I do have kids in the future, I feel like I've been told on here, like, you're getting too old to have kids, you need to start right now. First of all, stay out of my uterus. This is my uterus. I get to decide what I do with my body. Don't tell anyone they gotta get pregnant, because you don't know what they're going through. And even though I'm not going through any issues or struggling to get pregnant at the moment, I may in the future, and you may not know, and you may throw that at me, and I could be like crying because I'm like, I'm actually trying but I can't, you know. So I know there's many people out there like that. Not that I'm going personally through that, but I feel like as women, we should be more aware and we should be careful with the words that we put out there for other people. But whenever I get told that, like, I think someone commented like, you should just get pregnant and worry about getting healthier then, like worry about your weight loss then. No, this is the most important time to be healthy before having a child, because you're passing down all your genes to your child, like all your DNA, you're passing it down. So I think I had read up on it that it was like 2 years of whatever toxins we have in our body, we literally pass it down to our fetus, to the little fetus in our body. Not just us, but like the man also, whatever man you're having the baby with. So I know I'm not gonna be perfect, I know my fiance is not gonna be perfect, but I want us to definitely try to be healthier before we do try to bring a baby into this world. That way, if they come out with like a defect or anything, I know that it had nothing to do with me or my fiance, although some things, like I said, it's out of our control. But I want to know that I did my best. And not just that, because I'm also aware, I am aware that I'm gonna be an older mom, and I want to be able to run with them, I want to be able to play with them. And I'm only getting older, so I have to make sure that I'm being healthy so that I could do all those things, because I am choosing to be an older mom. I am choosing to have my kids later in life. So by doing that, I need to make sure that I am in a healthy place so that I could provide the best that I can for them. And not just that, I want to make sure that I'm in a better relationship with food, with myself, so that I could teach them to have that good relationship with food in themselves, so that I'm not passing down what got passed down to me. And I'm not saying that my mom did it on purpose. I think my mom did a great job at raising us, and she did the best that she could, and she's now trying to heal whatever was passed down to her as well. But I want to make sure that I am in a much better place mentally and physically, so that I can give my all to my child, pretty much. So that is my why. Like I don't just think about me. I think about me, and I think about the future me, but I also think about if I do have kids in the future, I want to make sure that I am able to give them the best out of me. I try to see it as too, there's people out there that I saw one guy on, I think it was on Instagram, he was weightlifting on one leg, and he had a very toned, muscular one leg, standing on one leg, lifting a heavy ass weight. I've seen a girl she had both of her legs amputated, super fit. And I told myself like, damn, there's really people out here that were given the perfect excuse to not do what they're doing, but they went after their goals regardless, and they didn't let anything put them down. So I see it that way too. Like I have thankfully a full body, all my body parts. Like I shouldn't be making excuses to not be the best version of me. I need to hurry up because this video is getting very long. Are you on a calorie deficit? I am on a calorie deficit. I feel like that's a way that we can lose weight. I don't track my calories to the T. I feel like because I've tracked them in the past, I definitely do have an idea of what most foods have. So yeah, I am in a calorie deficit, but I don't track my calories. I hope that makes sense. I just try to make sure I have a higher volume of foods by eating more veggies. What do you eat in a day? I will be coming out with more videos of what I eat in a day, so you can see my foods. But for breakfast, mostly every day, not every day, maybe 3 to 4 times out of the week, I will have overnight oats. For lunch and dinner, I normally do meal prep. If I don't meal prep, it's just a balanced meal. Like I'll have my meat, if I'm eating meat for that meal, like say like ground turkey and zucchini and some rice, or it's just, I try to have a veggie full meal for lunch and dinner. I would say every meal that I have is roughly around 400 to 500 calories, plus if I eat snacks in between, like fruit or like a protein bar. I do have some protein bars that I'm trying to finish, but honestly I don't really like protein bars either. I'm just eating them because we already bought them. But yeah, the next one, how did you manage eating healthy and not wanting to eat out? This was from Karina. So what has helped is just if I'm craving something and I feel like I really shouldn't have it, I'll just try to create a healthier version of it. I did a recipe on this where I did like a flatbread pizza, and I like to add bell peppers, and I use turkey pepperoni instead, and it's lower in calories. And you can do swaps like that will help you out. For us personally too, it was getting too expensive to eat out every single day, so we kind of saw that as a win-win for us. But something that definitely helps is to just making meals that are going to be satisfying, because if you're just meal prepping boring meals that are not filling you up, you're probably gonna more likely end up going to eat out anyways, if it doesn't hurt your wallet that much, if you don't care for it. But definitely just creating more meals that you feel you're going to actually enjoy will stop you from eating out. This is, I think, the last question. Finally, I want it, but it's hard to stay motivated / consistent. Any tips? You are doing amazing, by the way. This one's from B. Thank you so much, B. You have to see it as nothing worth having comes easy. You have to put in the work. I think a lot of times we tell ourselves, or we tell our siblings or family or friends, don't settle for less when it comes to like a partner or even having friends, right? You don't want to settle for friendships that are not giving their all to you or that are benefiting you in your life. And we tell them don't settle for less, but we'll settle for not being the best versions of ourselves. So it's like, how do we expect someone else to come in our life and be the best version and provide us everything that we want, but we don't do it for ourselves? I'm not gonna settle for less in my life. I'm gonna try to become the best version of me, because I'm not settling for less. For me, I am going to work for whatever I want in this lifetime, because I don't ever want to look back and think I could have done more. I should have done more. So that's one way to look at it as. Just by waking up every day, you're already a step ahead, because there's people that are unfortunate and don't get to wake up. So just as waking up every single day, you're already a step ahead. You just got to make that day worth it. Take it one day at a time. Just do a little bit better than you did yesterday every day. There's gonna be our days where we are down, and that's okay. We're humans. Just always try to do better, not just for you, but for everyone around you, because you're not gonna be able to offer the best version of you unless you put in the work for yourself. And it's gonna help, especially for those out there who are parents. You're gonna definitely give that deserving person that your kids could look up to. Just do your best, put in the work. I will do another video, so make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I'll do a video where I go more lengthy on tips and things that have helped me. But like I mentioned before, choose something that's gonna work for you. So choose an exercise. Even if it's just walking, even if it's 15 to 20 minute walk to start, set that as a first goal. That's fine. You're already a step ahead. You're doing better than you were without exercising at all. I do have a book that I've mentioned before, and I have it here because I've been trying to read it again. Atomic Habits. It teaches you how we create good and bad habits. It teaches you the science behind our habits, how we can stack habits. I highly recommend, even if you don't like to read, maybe download it so that you can listen to it. It is a really good book. Alex had bought this book for me because he was going to read it for himself, and he saw that it was really good and he wanted to make sure that I read it as well. We pretty much finished it together, and I highly recommend it. I'll put the link for it in the description box if you guys are interested. Definitely a motivating book right here. I was super obsessed with it when I read it. I didn't even take that long to finish it because I just wanted to finish it and I just wanted to read the next chapter already. If you feel like you have bad habits that you're trying to break, read this book. Highly recommend. Set a doable goal for the week. Something, like I said earlier, even if it's just one step for 1 week, one thing at a time. Don't try to overwhelm yourself. Don't do too much at once because you're going to overwhelm yourself. See exercise as something that's good for your health, not something that's good for losing weight. We have to kind of just separate those two. Nutrition is key. I think I said that already. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to anyone you're following on Instagram models, don't compare yourself. Regardless, at the end of the day, everyone has different physiques, different body shapes, and even if you lost the weight, you might not look like that person you're idolizing. So it's kind of good to have like that motivation, but kind of try to be your own motivation. To maybe if you have pictures from the past, choose yourself to be your own inspiration, because sometimes there's just people that we look up to that they're not ideal, and we can never get there because of our body shape, our natural body shape. Just stop comparing yourself to others. Like I mentioned earlier, just because we have the same hours in a day doesn't mean we have the same responsibilities. So you have to do what works for you. Look up healthy food swaps for your favorite meals. Truly try to meal plan for the foods that you enjoy instead of going based off of what someone else is recommending. Unless you could try and see if you like it. If you love it, then yes, add it to one of your favorite meals, but try to start by doing the foods that you personally enjoy. Meal prep, if you can meal prep, that definitely helps. It saves time, it saves money. That's gonna be all for this video, since it was a pretty lengthy one. I did have a lot of questions, and I'd like to thank all of you that did submit your questions. I am here because of you all. I am going to continue to sharing my journey so that I can inspire so many people, hopefully in the future, and continue to inspire many of you out there. But with that being said, thank you so much for being here. I will see you on my next video. Love you all. Besos.